Yeah, you're right, guys and gals. Welcome back to another video of mine on my YouTube channel. So I'm just looking at one of the latest newses from the coronavirus. This was from Monday the 30th of March. That was 2 days going back, because we are Wednesday now at the time of this video, 1st of April. Anyway, so what I can gather with this Covid-19, it seems very aggressive. It seems like it's not going to be going away for a while. We're not going to be able to get any vaccines for it. Well, at least not to my knowledge, anyway. But I've just read on the news, this was done today, 31st of March 2020, right? And it states that a 13-year-old boy has recently died. This was on Monday, the 30th, at London Hospital Trust. Age 13, absolutely the youngest one on here. A 13-year-old boy who tested positive for coronavirus has died, a London Hospital Trust has said. I'm not going to give the name because I don't do names on here, but he's from Brixton in South London. Died in King's College Hospital early on Monday. Is thought to be the youngest person to have died with the virus in the UK. A spokesperson for the trust said the boy's death had been referred to the coroners, but gave no further details. As of 5 o'clock, 1700 BST, that is, I think that's British Standard Time, on Monday, the number of UK deaths were 1,789 in the UK. Jesus Christ, guys and girls. We need to do something about it. The government are not doing anything about it, and I think, to be honest, I've got my own inklings why they won't come up with this vaccine and stuff. Obviously, I believe they have got the vaccine, or they've got something to, like some sort of antidote and stuff, but I don't know. I just think it's just kind of strange how all these people are dying like bloody flies, and young kids now. First of all, they said, oh, children were immune to it, and then recently they said no one's immune to it now, so not even children, not even old people. It's just, they said before it was like people with underlying health issues. But I think, and then someone said about this, and I said, well, it could be to do with alcohol, but because it was this child, they were not going to give children alcohol, are they? Obviously, but I think this also could be to do with, I don't know if the parents were smokers or not, if they smoked. They said their child was actually healthy, had no underlying issues. Either, my inklings is, right, if you are maybe around smokers of some sort, that's obviously is going to put respiration on your lungs, which is not going to help expand your lungs properly. It's just going to make it so it's intertwined. But I don't know. Now there's there's talks also. There's actually things going on at the moment about this bloody 5G, whether this could be something to do with it. Because with 5G, they reckon it's something to do with the frequency. And if the frequency of the Wi-Fi, which actually, apparently, they reckon when it got took into Wuhan, around the same time, the virus started spreading out at the same time. And also, like, it's weird, they keep blaming the marketplace with all the foods and all the viruses and all that kind of stuff in the marketplace, and saying the disease there. We need to find out exactly where this virus actually started, where it's originated. They keep saying, oh, it's in the food marketplace in Wuhan in China. But I think, to be honest, there's something a lot bigger going on with this virus. I think, to be honest, if you think about the virus itself, I was watching a documentary the other day with this doctor bloke, scientist, and he reckons it's very aggressive. He reckons there's not going to be any antivirus for it, or any sort of vaccine on it. They say a lot of people were immune to vaccinations in the first place, so a vaccination wouldn't be any good towards it. They reckon we'd just try and keep indoors, stay safe and all that, and just sort of just stay out of the way of people and don't give it to people if you have got it. And it's very, very hard to determine what kind, because we've never had a virus this massive before, this big, since I think we had one, I think it was, when was it, 2000? So we had the bird flu and that, people got over that, and then we had the Ebola and all that, but that wasn't actually worldwide. The Ebola, that was because that was a different disease, some different sort of place, and that they reckon, was it something Ebola? I think that was the one. Was it for monkeys, or there was one disease apparently for monkeys or something? But I think, to be honest, if you're a smoker, right, you're more likely sort of going to, or if say if you've got a family member as a smoker, you're more likely to have secondhand smoke, which actually is going to put health complications on you in the first place. So we need to determine, right, we need to find out where this originated from. We need to find out if it was man-made, because if it was man-made, then someone is in deep shit for letting it out in the first place. And we need, if it ain't man-made, then it's not man-made. But if it is a proper disease, then we need to find out where it originated from, because no one seems to have the answer of where it originated from. We all know it was in Wuhan in China, but I don't think the Chinese people or China themselves are sort of in that way where they want to help us. They're giving us all these like masks now and all these things, but I'm wondering why they're giving us all these like masks in the first place, all trying to help us in that way. Maybe they're feeling guilty or something, but I don't know. It's not my way of saying things. It's not down to me to try and find out the truth, but it is down to the government to find out the truth. So I don't know. A 13-year-old boy obviously testing positive and then dying on Monday is a big deal, guys and girls. This means no one is going to escape this. And if we don't find an antidote now, or some virus antidote to it, or vaccine or something, even though they reckon it's not going to work, I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And I think this could be like, I don't know. Well, it's not, obviously it's not going to be the end of humanity as we know it, but this could be a starting point. Or maybe someone's planted this virus to actually spread out like it is, to try and sort of depopulate us a little bit. But that's going into conspiracy theories, and I want to try and talk about fact. If we can get any facts on it, we know the virus is basically from Wuhan, or originated in Wuhan, but where in Wuhan? Was it the marketplace? Was it to do with some animals that got infected and started spreading it to other animals that got put on the meat market? Or was there something big and sinister in this that we're not being told? Obviously, there was a bloke who basically died, and he was a doctor, and he was told to keep his mouth shut and all that kind of stuff by the Chinese government, because this was before we knew about it. And it was one of these whistleblowers, in a sense. And then suddenly, he died of the Covid-19. So someone knows something about this virus. And we need to find it, guys and girls. We need to find out what this virus is all about. They reckon it's very aggressive. Obviously, it's aggressive because we've never had a virus to take out these many people before in just a couple of days. And apparently, for Monday, the number of UK deaths were 1,789 deaths in the UK. We cannot allow people to keep dying of this stupid bloody virus. We need to find a cure, guys and girls. Just 0.3% of those who show symptoms require hospital care, and 0.006% die. In other words, 2 out of every 30,000 infections among the age group will not survive, he said. So 2 out of every 30,000. I mean, it may seem not a lot, but the thing is, in a way, it is a lot. But it does happen, as the disgusting case shows. Should young people be worried about the coronavirus? It was what the family said. He was admitted to the hospital in South London after he had begun showing the symptoms and having difficulties breathing. He was put on a ventilator, then put into an induced coma, but sadly died yesterday. On Monday morning, they said, to our knowledge, he had no underlying health conditions. So obviously, right, either the families were smokers, or maybe they weren't smokers, or maybe they used to take their 13-year-old out with them on a daily basis, and they used to go to the supermarket, and maybe people smoking and stuff, or maybe it could be anything. We need to find out. Hopefully, they end up finding out what actually killed him and stuff, because we know the virus killed him, but we need to find out officially from the coroners, because it says there's nothing on there about the coroners at the moment, no information about it. A statement on the page said, without any family members close by due to the highly infectious, so they couldn't get to him, they couldn't put their arm around him for him dying like that. It's like they said, without any family members close by due to the highly infectious nature of the COVID-19. So he couldn't even get a last cuddles or a last hold due to the fact it's sad. It's absolutely sad, guys and girls. And I think analysis, what is the risk to young people? Research suggests that children and teenagers are much less likely to die from the COVID-19. Well, no, they're more likely to die. You know why? Because their immune system hasn't fully developed yet. From a child, right? When you're a baby or something, right? Your immune system is still trying to develop that immune system, immunity and all that of your body and stuff to try and fight off infections. That's why they usually give these vaccinations in the first place, so they can develop the codes and viruses and kick it all out of the system. But unfortunately, it's more dangerous, this one. Symptoms tend to be mild in children, contrast to the flu, when children are at a higher risk of complications. Scientists have yet to determine why this might be. It is possible that children's bodies are more able to cope with the virus. Really? Well, we didn't see it there, did we? We didn't see his immune system start kicking in and kicking out the virus and all of that. So it goes to show they're not really knowing what they're doing. One idea is that children might be better off because they have not been exposed to other milder types of coronaviruses. Adults have and have developed antibodies as a result, but because of those antibodies are not exactly matched to the COVID-19, they might do the body more harm than good. All this does not mean that young people, particularly those with underlying health conditions, are completely safe from the effects of the COVID-19, as this case tragically shows. So obviously, they're saying, right, it's not going to make them immune to it. Obviously, they could end up getting sort of killed from it, or getting sort of infected by these. But anyway, what do you guys and girls think? If there's any doctors and nurses out there who know your shit about viruses and stuff, or any scientists, let us know in the comments below, so we could get this sort of debate going. What is going on? Should we be actually asking questions for these answers to be told to us? Are you all guys and girls out there wanting the truth of who actually let this this virus out? I think we all have a right to know where it originated from. I mean, obviously someone knows about this virus, but they're just keeping their mouth shut and stuff. So it's just one of those things, guys and girls. Anyway, I'm going to finish this episode off here. If you did enjoy the actual sort of video. Don't worry about likes, comments in this one, because this one is just purely insanity and shit at the moment, guys and girls. So anyway, you all stay safe, keep cover out there, guys and girls, and also don't let the virus get to you. Just keep indoors, stay sort of tied up in your rooms and stuff, and if you've got a virus yourself, keep indoors. Do whatever you can to protect yourself from further damage. Anyway, I'll see you on the next episode, guys and girls. Stay safe and see you soon.